per plan on your man to talk. Yeah, expect to say a better talk. So far, no relief items to communities, no munya. Things that needs to be done is being done. People are really appreciating the work that we are doing in support with NADMO and other agencies. And soon also, at least, like I said, over the period of time, we can sometimes this week, like I said, middle of October up to end of October, yeah, and so na bad dam there's so yeah, tracking dam rise, at least from last Friday, we won't say a drop, and so talk a crazy. It's normal, when you bump kakra, but it's a normal phenomenon. And now you can say, in so a bad dam no more, and so a call out, is the same. It's 233,000 cubic feet. We are discharging 185 plus. The machine can use almost 50.
Okay.
All the count is almost the same. So rising and there is zero. So yeah, like I say, a go no go area. On you do Siciado. Yeah, monitor level of the dam, so at least height is 277.36 feet. Maximum operational level is 277.5 feet. So at least there were about 1.14 feet. I just say it drew maximum level, but you drew 0.0. I just say so about a corner. It's almost the same. So you won't say a negative riser. Let us say a bemunu swasi be too good. I just say you start to say you put plans able to make closer gate in Kakra. Okay. Yeah, we're still so near.
Integrating a nyantumo.
Yeah, sure. By Sunday, you take a decision. Yeah, we are. Yes, yeah, share data. No, data na yeah, share still. So data per projection definitely is negative. You take a decision. What percentage should we close?
Okay.
To at least also reduce the suffering of the people down there.
Maybe sir, nipa bebre bisa, but maybe sebium. A day na causes our problem. A ensure at Togu Dam no man answer a day.
Ensure at Togu Dam no per predictions of my mind. Makada say almost say this year no 90% chance in so on top. But 10% chance in so better. Now all year prediction a bit more to happen baby. Yes, we are tracking in so from January up to June, July, hono. Net tracking them say so and so better endorse kakrebi. By Drew August, all the metro agencies across the world change prediction is there. So 10% of them say I'm sure super topano and the baby. So August you say so in so ne bad dam no more. In so ne bad dam next say yes I say be take a decision. Yes, so as VR in the say yeah well chat you follow no so you to your boy you share how your man call you share and yes be to p be bro so sir. So middle August going as a look, we have to start putting in the plan. So as beginning of September, we have to activate the emergency preparedness plan to inform people that look, we will start spelling. But Kwame, me person confetti as I say, via I say no. Even opening the gate, it took almost 3 days debate between the engineers, management, and looking at the effect of the community. Because you share Google Map development of what dam national is massive. Now volumes are bound per our calculation. Just a bit more the best a be. So we have to come to a point. Look, EMB it will be 20%, 20,000. Now near monitoring so no. Near be 20,000. Sorry, monitoring so no. So no, you're trying to still eba. So ne bapa. It's okay. You call 30. You call 50. You cost 70. You do 70, no. Towards the end of September, and so they say, those at least you drew a year, and so then Tobio. But that day, you have a swami. The next day, pencil a bad dam, no. You have to say, with him for the buy. It's a bro.
Let's just some planning now, say.
Let's just say, planning that 2 teams here at the banner. It's not at Pasca somehow. But we have to go back to the drawing table and say, look, we have to take action. Because seeing to me, put the dam safety at risk. You ensure how best we can save the dam and also how best we don't affect people downstream. So up to 9th October now, there's no any flood discussions going on at all.
Mubi in the 15 September.
15 September,
every 15 September, 9th October, na issue be anyhow.
There's no complaint. Nadbo records put say before you be a dam no kesiye in the 10th October hono. Perform omanga some if you move aba save even about 12. About 12 and about some omanga some if you move say we hold you at 12.
Oh, I see.
But
as at 10th October.
As at 10th. No.
That's only like what? 10 days ago.
Yes. So as soon as we be in a doors, no, let's just say microphone starts say but normal way in your protocols na makada no you follow trend anka obi abetumi akọ safe haven na obi saving the property na bibi you be in case na just only properties na o dan esi ho na maybe eba affect no navy for ejuma mbe so mbe rush so mbe chin crop for feel no maybe you hun me say you hun decision crop for hun say crop for den so no omo cost safe havens no because in so na ba no at least be cost it may take like 1 to 2 days na drew lower portion ho no unya time unya die enough time to so be gather on your main say who feel akọ safe haven no so na a challenge no eba so that is what really played out.
Ensure no apart from saying ensure eto isun ifrihin ebadam no.
Oh, normally no saying so no tough or nothing part of the Ghana Burkina Faso area no. And so normally share so no tough from north na be say akọ epunumu. So we say from the north come to the border, then to the coast, then to the sea. Na say trim. So normally tour north and total every year bagrefo biomu gate no. Omubia, and we say not far flooded. The bar at least.
Say quite so half flooded kakra.
Aye, me bao. So Omubia get down be receiving so receiving so yesterday use for power. Na e kano ekoepunumu. Over as I said since 2010, NBA down me that bag every year Omubia gate no. So Omubia you to me hold it by lake size and you're holding you use higher power. But soon a talk can a talk good. Dam no na so na tower not na doors.
Okay.
So volumes never no doors. And then am
anti bagri ni ye bie.
Ye bie bagri.
Omo bie bagri. Na mo mi so e talk kan ho no.
Yes.
And e create sa problem.
Yes.
Anti so na nto se na talk e se na nke nya sa issue.
No. Per our projections ka ye be this year. Say so na nto me say to yanka per projection as at August they be a level about 274. You do even 276 or no.
I see.
You drew. That was the projection KB drew. Per prediction some of the money now. That was what we were going to get. But as at 10% na you can say better than 10 you say you call more than 278. You be brought down no cry and you possible into me.
Mtini 10% mponi.
Probably say 10% say better though.
And then ka bro sa di anki enim. Now Kenzo bro, maybe could this have been prevented? And can you bit crime be one can you bit me aya and yaye?
Martis and Grofu Piakas and just yesterday spell it earlier. But expert in weather forecast and catches and so on. Who could be a dime in our spellings when and so on to and so as our dam no who nyap in so produce power.
Yeah.
So it was a dicey situation. So as mechanic in here tracking, also tracking it didn't move into 276, you may do 274 or 272 on your bedroom. That was okay for us. EMB getting yesterday. So August never said to see a B. We were also very conscious. A B, actually, one day wonder pay.
Yeah.
Or 1 month, so tobacco pay jack. Near business recording in Sobia. What do Ghanaians also say?
Yeah.
Say I'm managing so you are too so able to make use for cheaper and you're too good. So it was a dicey situation, but as engineers, it's data that we use in taking decisions. And you're taking that data to take that decision. And you're taking that decision so maybe what we'll be facing will be very, very, very difficult. Somewhere September 11, Libya dam collapsed.
Up to now, you need the exact figure
No, because report about is almost 5 million crop in a year.
5,000. Ebi so say 11. Ebi say 13.
Yeah, so almost crop blame is on dam no. Oma sheni year no mama happen here. So It's a decision call that you always have to make, looking at both sides of it and make sure you take that correct decision. So internet taking only that 20,000 from the beginning.
Yeah.
To make sure that they ain't depleted dam no. Ni be any case so anka can be hu can be worse. Can call you can say okay, I will so be here hu so be it's about 240% more than the water that we expect no. Yem be no case back when send up back no hold it back. Let's say be wipe community so back. So it's a balance act that you have to do.
You're caught between a rock and a hard place.
Yes, and you have to make that judgment call. Save life, save the asset.
So far, your report be as be meaning say from your end what be sir.
No, until so be at least like I said, after the simulation a year no, in May no, education no call. Crawford no like say education no call down.
My memory no so. Yenyan say 50 October last year. Money community say wo enyan kita hudie. October, November, December, idea yes mo tie. But money omunyan kita hudie.
Yes.
Na May this year, mo yes simulation. Bring baby say simulation then am ye. Ya yenti as then am koye.
Okay. As you say, who predict now who future. Say ade betumi esi. Esi a then yenye.
E ho sunsan so what is saying?
To saying ade just all the to kwema we be sure say bibia obi ahun tonchima along the way no unnecessary.
Mo ye.
Yeah. Full. So communities now can participate here. Ebimu krobon say there are videos of it. Ebimu krobon say omo so man ka so omo mattress omo woman nyoma omo ko safe even. It was just like acting. Going a bit so faint we collapse we done one so mo we fresh say be collapse we ho Navy before quickly have to go there. We used to boat normal from our shore. Ambulance are job straight to clinic. So it's our simulations in here say bad. These are some of the things that may be fun of our community no. And all were aware after simulation they crumple. US, North Dakota, they were in the country, they supported, they came to witness to see the lapses where we can improve. Now, I say this was one of the best simulations they themselves have seen because the communities were really involved. Man transfer more shekeke.
Njade na man focus VR anyashi.
Oh, well, and it's another thing that we have to really look at.
Ebi dia to just say VR in penny for all engineers anyway because man nyem adwuma ye.
My cover the praise there's nobody in this country who has run a hydropower plant than people of VRE. We have all the data. They are running power plants 60 plus years. Expertise in our. So I would say there's somebody who can say is more expert than a VRE person who has the data knowledge backing him to take decisions. Some years back, Chairman General, for time, your friend Professor Munko bomb pie and so to go down. Who could see the rocks of the bottom rocks of the dam.
Namu, really?
Yes, those times you go bomb pie go down. We see it. We have to take decision of going below even 130, 230 something feet, which we shouldn't even get there. But we took that risk to run the plant. So Abba Ados. So sometimes you see in Sunni dam no more, so into me producing of and then so Ados. Abroso. Biobeka say Nimye Jumano day. I'll tell them maybe in Pakono and say a Jumano day at least 60 years day. To me managing dam up to this point. Crawford Beshako Sobono said this is one of the best managed dams in the world. Every 5 years, or Crawford Fia Amano Moba. On may assess a dam no. Or may access the data how you operate the dam. No. Always they give us high marks with small lapses of what we should do to make sure the dam is properly secured so that we don't breach the dam. Last year we had that report. They came and did the assessment. The report in my areas that we need to strengthen, which have to do with the saddle dam area. So you can strengthen her. Oh, so Yanka say we don't know what we are doing. We really understand what we are doing.
And I'm pioneer about President for time. If you yanko po team pioneer.
2010 at least every buy it to be believe. They just say still a umpire.
Na OT empire ba. 2010 yes spillage no yanti who did they say? Are they na volumes near low and say ediane buy?
No, volumes near was low. So gate near BNO. It is the same as a small percentage of normal water if you dam no call. You run a plant in the economy. So graph so our situation per our data and records is somewhere 1963.
Okay, madam guys at 67. That's at 63 near see dam near.
So they happen years so no be a side and so more by sink oil. But 67 year dam spill and kasan this effect. What you are seeing now, that was the 67 one.
That was 67.
Yes.
But that 67 now communities don't know so sir.
No mundo.
Now development in Mahosa.
No.
Because they say in Yaninti over 30,000 people displaced. Nipa bro 30,000 na omunya bebinda. Now in your experience, say you be a Bagri Dam na Ghana for ne Bagri for ye won kita hu die bi efa say you almost spell your modi no hana.
Yes, I'm communicated to us. Normally 2 weeks notice, 1 month. Yes, your department, engineering department, you have a constant communication with them. Oh, best my data. What are you seeing? I'm so this here is really too much. So getting to I'm communicate. Say your best spell. This is the volumes that will come.
Okay.
So when you're careful. So about penny as you are communicating, say Bagri Dam will open.
Okay.
So people should be careful in the north. So at least that communication. By this, communicate. You communicate to Ghanaians. Say best spell Bagri Dam. So people in the north should be very careful. It can cause a lot of flooding in the north. Almost spilling and so as I said to go.
Engineer, any more Jumani baby sir say yenim say Bagri Dam your best spell. Yenim say issue toka ho a yebenya problem nyane nei. Yentimi si dam foforo. Issue na eba no. Ye ni bibia ebetimi di issue na ye. Sabi ye be hwe egu saa keke. Then ye betimi aye.
Chairman, Ushe Bui Dam. B was constructed mainly to hold some of the water. So Bui no mamuka say a peak plant. And they say you breed run we run and we do they hold the water. And they run and so na weba dam no. Yes, you see Pualugu.
Yeah.
You see Pualugu Dam na. It flood no north in the Bejai.
Really?
Yes. Kono so be holding so no. Instead of
so ne fit Bagri
no. Be holding for some time. It be used for power generation. Be used to be for irrigation. We use a bad dam no more. So at least instead of flooding north, so you hold there. It releases a bad dam gradually. Now yes we use so, but downstream no after Kosombo no. And a challenge in the work. Because Akosombo, if you are, go straight to Akuse. Conform design was a ye be Akuse, a be holding so no. So Akuse be holding so between Akosombo and Akuse hono. Ne use na a made drain into the sea. Akuse is what gate. It says so no doors to pee, no so when German. There's a be flood that face so Jamai hoina. I don't bridge no will be a risk. So just almost no reason a call. So over the years, that's how we've done it. But from Akuse straight into Epunumuno, it's very flat. Don't to me near dam.
Okay.
No, okay, so person holding so air base so Chairman General. Planting around there at least 50,000 about 50,000 cubic feet in a corner. They will be able to say a call. I'm going to be there farming, what have you. Who be getting Kakraba? Who be to this level of 180 be above 150 cubic feet per second. 1 second be at 150,000
per second.
Yes. So times 60 a 1 minute, times another 60 a 1 hour, times 24. So as I still be here, so be hold this sense way.
And ensure the speed and ever.
So, Kofaka say hold it, baby. It's something is not beyond engineering. We'll look at it, but over the years, study say now to hold it, where to hold it. I don't know which part of the country and land that can hold that amount of water.
Pualugu ni baby da baby.
Pualugu, we are all the studies which are needed. I think we are working with government. Even Sky, we started project. All the preliminary works has to be done. To be a can say even Sky, we started. Dam. So far, projects so far from government are around almost 700 million to almost 1 million.
And you better.
No, it's not. And you better, sir.
And you better $700 million. And you better. 80 yeah simulation you didn't come on near Benny. Wow, do we feed your 2-piece 104.3 final bar? Any engineer EKOW OBENG-KENZO, a deputy chief executive VRA, and I train come on a far near AC a war a consumbo a BA gate Kakanoposika Crebio, a chain now see BB Kahon, and then near Ababisi. Say MBA gate Radena Baba.
BB and President General. Because the MBA gate here, Chairman General, my Canada, and so that damn nature.
We say 150 billion.
150 billion cubic meters. Cubic meters.
I don't know, how do you quantify it? Yes, yeah.
I just in so every gate will be only 4,800 cubic meters.
It's not cause a problem, no.
Echo every 1 second, 4,800 cubic.
4,008. And so we do 5,000, 10,000.
And so we do
1 million, 100,000.
Billion. So it's something as I said, Dam Bridge is and maybe be a better now say we will never allow it to happen. So at least there was spillway gates. I had 2 bays, each one contains 6 gates. It to be being here fully about 1 million cubic feet per second, which is about 1/10. We are 1/10 of what we've opened.
Hey. Ghana for Mutie. And Yamina America, me school engineering, me anya, because I'm in TSC. Into Omo nim dia any de kasa at this point. Obi say billion cubic something be like C. Just at the right?
Yes.
80 dam nubu at the airport for neighbor.
Yes. And Chairman General BB as a baby the 2 team. Me see so now what dam near 150 billion. Height of the dam now, you can say level that you say Bruno. Normally you can fit, but I made the bar meters may about 84 meters.
84 meters.
84 meters, you know. Me just said then be war Accra we drew 84 meters. That is the height of water. And the bar, I said with JBB extra by speed a bar no be sink corner. Yeah, potential energy to kinetic energy. So that speed be into me engineer no.
Bibia.
Obi into me engineer. A dying will be a cop. Road credit to now.
80 say free whole bar. He found a bear affected immediately.
Oh, all the lower water holding some portion of Tema between the Kogupu. All will go.
I bet you could go.
Yes. It will have to go to the sea. That is the end point.
And Moyam calculation, how long will it take?
Continuous flow take more than 1 week for it to find its way and clear everybody out.
I didn't say many.
So that is how it will be like. But at the same time, we have to hold our water and use it to produce power.
In the last 10 days, via my brabo Musubai Mejuma saying. Because we saying Kaum Pekasau. But in the last 10 days, no, watching a journalist, radio, TV, newspapers. What has life been like? As you saying,
it has not been normal, but it's something we prepared ourselves for. It's not normal. It's something you should know that it may come. Since you are around the plant, one day it may come. Since you are not God, you cannot determine. It may come. Prepare. But I won't mean that. Because just every day, data. Every 2 hours. Maybe better around 2:33, about 4:35. We'll train data. Say what is happening, what decision should be taken. So, and better. And I'm almost 3:30. The boss cross I should sleep.
Engineer Kenzo, at this rate, more projections that bend to be
Chairman General, Mr. Mekai, at least towards the end of this month today, we should see that Nsono our data. The best start to say gate in the bit to see a close no. Kakra. Then we to go. We will have a meeting or Chinanopa with our executives, all the engineers, to make a very difficult call to make sure that at least we save lives.
Is there any difficult call?
Oh, Chairman, you say bien so projections here and say maintain 0 year here woman here. It be around 277.4 feet.
Okay.
On so be you. Just a continuous spelling. Your closing gate here with the rate here, where would the level get to? Maybe we call above maybe 277.5. But I've always said it could be above now. You can't stay there for long. We stay there for long, the dam is at risk. So I just hear some calculations near the say, okay, into getting, the 2 man, what will be the consequences? You're training come more negatives than 2. So that call has to be made, and that will be the decision that we'll take.
I don't envy you. I don't envy you at all. Because one too money. But I say we decide as over 2 man as over jai. You are in the VR, somebody 10 million cedis be to say Yanfanye.
10 million to support NADMO with all its relief activities on your communities, provide comfort for the people. Any seed money that all, you may go up, you may be there. So
Ninja may be 10 million, say a fair bit is no man, and ya de bit me aboa.
Yanka say I'm waiting say just says cannot to because they share data at the beginning and this is the money we can easily give to support the community. And so far at least Chairman make I say Aveime hono our water system was completely damaged. Yeah, new water system and dry area more community at least they'll get good water.
Enra.
Yeah, and
my new water system.
Yes, yeah, new pump and everything for them to take water from a better point than where. Because
your more can say insurance ban polluted, contaminated.
So then this will be a crowd in Saka in the community because wash almost everything, things buried and all that, carcasses, all those things will go into the water. Unfortunately, like I said, the community is almost using more of the pit latrine. So now can at least so no what is a sense on sunu kakra. And so at least more water tankers. You can say the water tankers are called not more renting water tankers. So feed Tema area hoba fill and drag common the big water polytanks in community to fill them with water to serve the community, sachet water. We have to be sure water is essential. Water is so enough. Your hospital unit so and Dromo there about 1.5 million worth of drugs community a whole truckload of drugs. That's
the VRA hospital unit.
Yes, to support that more activities. Because any district health services near Juma. And so at least next, if their normal habitat, mobile land, or you have to send them anti-snake bite tracks,
crocodiles, and all other things.
Will come and then water is maybe in your corridor. So they are setting a mobile hospital now. Air shots at least those basic things are being given apart from the food and where they sleep. And Ministry of Energy, more solar lamps. They are going to release some solar lamps for us to give to the NADMO to give to the schools light in the order, so that they can have some light in the evening. So at least relieving their but as I said, human beings, even if you are better baby our own money is always a slave.
Yeah.
On you happy. So what our focus mainly is to make sure we restore their life back to normalcy. They should go back to their livelihood. They should go to farm, fend for themselves, take care of their children, see that they are human beings. That now feeding now is a burden on people. That image in episode feel. And as soon as possible, we think we have to be taking such decisions to make sure they can go back to normalcy and feel like they are also human beings, have their dignities back. So these are some of the
NADMO, now, how about Ghana Navy, Ghana Army, 48 engineers, this microphone? To say.
Chairman General, it have been all hands on deck. Very fantastic. 48. Ebe gidi. The boat in among fan for. You go there, you see them work. You think that these people don't they have like don't they care? So they are really committed. You can see these are people who are really
that is your soldiers in Navy for no.
Yes, Ocean Admiral, Fire Service. All these people are really on board. Per our emergency preparedness plan, all these agencies know the roles that they have to play when this thing happens, and all of them are playing very well. Obianda, I can tell you.
Well, you be a teacher no patch say. I'm sure what to be a lot of criticisms. Say your bomachi, Jumanu Nkoyi, Monyade, relief mantem, na I late na you doom light, na if I could see a yankita who didn't money and didn't any man say concerns need be a very genuine concerns.
Chairman General, at least be our best start. There's a slow start. You gather momentum now. For that very fast. Slow start, at least. Like I said, maybe it caught us because I didn't buy 10th October. As 11th, Microphone started moving. Then the relief items were on their way going.
Okay.
Come 12, the things were normalized. People were getting food. Maybe initially I knew but I said no, the burden was too much. So fuel and things were provided so that people can cook themselves and share it among themselves at the various safe havens. Families. So almost we have to start looking for them. So normally, beginning of the year only about 6,000 thereabout. It moved to 10,000. Those were those in the safe havens that were being taken care of. So maybe some of the settlements, maybe some of the people maybe who are outside the safe havens who are still being considered, we are still looking for them. But as of today, I'll tell you, nobody is being left unattended to. Madam for her family, they're also bedding on their friends, and NADMO is sending relief to those people. They are sending them food, all that they need. Water, I can say for now, has stabilized. A lot of water is being supplied to the people. Tablets have been sent that we can use for some of the water, which is good.
Purified.
So they can use for washing, but they shouldn't use for bathing or drinking, just washing, so that at least can relieve some of the issues in there. So
my simulation exercise may in Kitanhudi started by Africa Kenya, but you see now, I say you didn't engage enough. Do you feel that way? I say Kitanhudi no, and I say na mu nim se bedu ba bia dru nti abanesa. Men kai se mu bon de wuru bebre se bibi se ibisi.
Okay, normally because any say community say besi or no, that is where the district assembly focus on with the radio stations. Yanka say community relationship for no. I am call community no. They were doing it constantly, engaging the people, finding out whether they are ready. If it comes, what should you do? One of the interview, one lady can say 2 months ago she knew that it was going to happen. She had that information 2 months ago, so she was aware. But the question was that was she ready?
Was she prepared?
That is the question that is lingering on, whether the people were prepared to move or not. But you can't blame most of them too. Say, okay. Or maybe because maybe you need them.
Yeah.
So it's protected. So men were asking their children and the ladies to move to the safe havens, and they were staying behind to protect the property. But during the simulation crampo, there's one artist Sujama say kofu evacuate here. Obi akosho bishop owie and nyoma police for akochin omesodum
simulation.
Yeah, it's crampo akosho bishop owie and yesodum enemy call. So it's something that was
legends
preempted. It may happen when this thing happen. People may take advantage. So no crowd videos or pictures or so you were all say that, oh, this guy, what's happened to you? Oh, Robert Chidom no call. But in Yaba, what we can do is what can we do to make sure that people are relieved and can go back to their normal life. That is our
talking about relief and going back to their normal life. After all of this, after it's said and done, you find the same projections never true say in the next week to 10 days, normal life best started. It be a spillage na journey na kikako. What next?
What next? You know, an interministerial committee in Airshare. Because they is the state who come in with the VI is also a state agency who is part of the committee that has come as a invited body. The recommendations will definitely come from them to decide what should be done for these people who have been affected. What has to be done to make sure this thing don't happen again. Yet the vice president can say we should bring engineering solution for this not to happen again. All those things will come to the table for us to.
Until there could be an engineering solution.
We will look at it and see how best we can also prevent if it should happen. What can we do to make sure we are taking the maps again? We have what we call the non-dated maps. So in so toa areas ever flood, you know. Yeah, taking data this year. We are flying over, taking data to make sure that look, this volume, this is how far it went. So that data has to be sent to the district assembly. District assembly is more side on data map now. So in case a dam, anything should happen at this percentage of gate opening with this amount of water, these areas will be flooded. So these are these maps given to them. We want to confirm and even go beyond what we have to be sure that look, this is the actual one that happened. This is where it is. What decision should be taken out of that data? Chairman, yeah, because you holding Suez or mentioning Kwe, the north is flooding.
Yeah,
Savannah region is flooded because we're also not allowing the water to go. So, who holding Sono, who obey the level, the north is so flooded.
Flooded, but down.
So, it's like a go situation. The middle should allow the water to go to relieve the people in the north. It goes here, affects them. If you hold it too much, the people in the north are also suffering. So you're in the middle to do that balance act properly to make sure everybody is comfortable. All the things involved, the plant is safe, the people downstream are safe, the people upstream are also safe. NADMO is going to the north to assess the damage caused at the north. And we also have to provide relief for those people at the north.
Okay, be about maps. Minim say maybe so pen and said I never be a petrol coba me do back ho. More maps, VRA or maps, yeah, my assemblies. Me assure say some maps you order dada. When him say ye be infidena ahabeiri. 67 according to now okay. Yenya BBC. But maybe ana develop maybe brainy hosa. Engineer. Nipa ni bibre ho ha keni so mo ho no kre
that question on the job assembly for no I'm not so we answer because we plant no upstream
nature me bisa sa de say sa anano kan na so wasanka mo the maps na ma assemblies ni nyina
no the 10 maps they have it
enti omunim say aha and so you know about na omama permit na nkofo esidan you see hospital you see clinic you see school you see money movie but I say mom person mo beka
oh yeah I won't say that we don't know how those how it works there so I will not say I will sit here and fault them. We have to find out, investigate and know what it is, whether that is what we are seeing, if it is true.
Oh, my politically correct answer.
Sure that. We're engineers answer.
Engineering answer. Oh. Engineer Edward Obeng-KENZO, Deputy Chief Executive, VRA, and Nutrition Command. Engineer, main kind messages about community and Sabina wrap up. This one is from Dr. Mafo. Dr. Mafo, Chairman of Environment Committee of Parliament, he says, with the reality of climate change, we should expect these occurrences in the future, and the earlier we prioritize the construction of overflow receptor dam to connect and use that to support irrigation, the better. We must rethink engineering to cope with climate impacts. Dr. Mafo, engineer, what do you want to say? When are you engineer?
Yes, overflow dam along the lower water. It's something we'll look at, but I said that place is very flat. The height between Akuse to the lower water is somewhere around only 8 meters. We're talking about 70 kilometers. If it's 8 meters and that is the slope is very flat. So be a dammer. There's also one thing that we should also anticipate. So holding zone and zone fanning level to spread.
Yeah, out
like this. So other communities will also be affected. But it's a suggestion brought on board. We'll look at it. If there's an engineering solution to that one, if that is the one we have to look at, we'll consider it.
Obviously, maybe say maybe the fuse. Now you know about it. I'll see a friend flood early warning system. I'll see a friend Dr. Makwa this in AK Don King. I'll say, do they have a fuse at for the dam and the water lake? If yes, how does it operate? Mubibisa.
Oh, the alarms are there. We blow them before we even open the gate. We did that warning. It sounded for a very long time before we open them. You know, we do it.
Into a
Yeah, we have them.
How about effect of climate change? Is it possible? You are an engineer, I know. Intermediate, I'm up 1+1, more per data, per calculation. But the conversation about climate change, are you possible say it can't affect here?
Oh yes, we can't take it off completely. It is part of it because per projections they're not supposed to see this. It just changed, and it started raining. 60 years it happened. So now we also want to do more of a tracking at how often would this event happen, so that we add it to our planning. So we are looking at data and also see that look, with the climate change that we envisage now, what can we do to predict how often this thing will repeat itself? So if it was 60 years ago, we spilled only 13 years ago. So will it spill again 13 years or to be earlier 5 years? We have to make those projections and prepared accordingly.
Engineer Edward Obeng-KENZO, Deputy Chief Executive, VRA. Fred Waguna say, please find out from the engineer if there's any plan to restore the ecological systems in the forest cover along the water stream. Fred, you're doing life and property, but at this point, also the ecology, how?
I think with the interministerial committee, maybe, as said, maybe we'll look at it. Maybe we'll co-opt some members from forestry, environment to come in and advise. The Minister of Mist is part of the interministerial committee, so I'm sure he will give a direction on that. I think he also has mentioned that what happens to the last meeting, mentioned what happens to the reptiles and all those things, what's happening to them. So what do we do? So I think something will be done to make sure those ecologists also.
But a dangerous situation, Paul.
Yeah.
So, now crocodile be a pure them. I don't want to think about it. You sure you don't near me corner or what them, wait them. More hospital, are you prepared? More health facility, are you prepared for outbreak of cholera? Am I prepared for those things?
Yes. We are prepared, and Ghana Health Services, so at least per discussion we've had with them, they also put it in place to make sure. I think that is the main concern now, the cholera and typhoid and any waterborne diseases. That is the issue that we are really looking at. And then psychological people to go and talk to the people. I think they are looking at all that front to make sure at least we don't have any epidemic on our hands, and at least people lives are protected.
Nana no brings a light one here. He says, don't trouble Engineer Kenzo with an engineering solution. That man sitting there has all it takes. But those of us in Ghana, we believe in divine intervention. So you, Chairman General, go and gather your plenty men of God. Let them go there and pray to the God of Israel to intervene. I know. Now, finally, engineer, obisi will be a friend reverse engineering. Munamunim. Then reverse engineering and situation you will mean. Bibi Sabiti Messi.
Okay, reverse engineering say unim idea o yene fufro. So with all the fat was here, what do you do to bring it back to its original state? I know more of some of the definition of a reverse engineering, but I think people have also come up saying can soon cry pumping Estro, back. Chairman General, me sure so confirm who ye pen stock no. And so now pipe in so no firm a turbines in the mono. 50,000, Mrs. is near 50,000 cubic feet per second. So I could say dam the crample or honor. I could say dam be expel out no. Who can install a pump, same pump sense way back into the dam. Then you saw. Other countries have done it. A more cheaper form of energy. A dream Brombe shut all the hydropower plants, no. Okay. Now pumping so back over the head. By a head, I make 84 feet, 84 meters.
That height.
So I just only here pumping to pump this quantum of water over that height into the dam back. And no amount of energy obeying need, you know. We cost benefit analysis are to better.
Just a bear tough.
I think the only best would be maybe somewhere in the north. If there's land, if there's a lot of water, we can find a way of storing some water somewhere there and be releasing it, which comes with the Pualugu Dam and maybe other.
Just say Pualugu na
it will help us. Yeah.
It will? It will not create a problem of shortage of water into that Konsombo?
No.
At all?
Say blue and cost shortage.
Okay, so Pualugu Besum was raw.
The cost shortage.
I don't know, I buy or say 700 million.
But at least Pualugu will be help with irrigation.
Yeah.
Dam nipe.
Irrigation.
The dam nipe, some will say the cost benefit is not good to do it. But with the irrigation bit of it, you know, it will help a lot.
Talking about irrigation, you ain't me for water lake in irrigation. Yes, say Accra Plains war. I don't know. I mean, when are you anyway? You ain't me
maybe any Ghana irrigation authority for that.
But is it possible? Engineering point of view.
Yeah, well, irrigation kakra there's one irrigation what I call a for the rice farmers in your man. So yeah, so it just be in a spilling.
Okay.
The normal operation of the dam is only 50,000 Americano. Yeah, used to be irrigation. Then kind of because as I said, so be so to me call.
Yeah.
So that you don't create diseases in the water banks. And also, dredge in Sonumwa, sea water back into the river, and they come vectors now also Behezi and Kikayono. So you do the dredging so that the sea water comes to kill those snails. One year, no I mean so and water hyacinth will get footing to sit in the water. So the running of the water is also very important. So because holding in answer use so just say I'd so in a bit dry. When it dry, what happens? Some of the water has to go.
Yeah.
And the amount that we think we can take out to do the irrigation is what was done somewhere in 1970s. Here's irrigation and we use it for farming around the water.
But it still can be done.
Yeah, we can still look at it.
How about dredging of the lake itself? Engineer. Let me ask you all the seemingly silly questions from us who are non-engineers. Dredge water lake na. The volumes no. I mean, from your point of view.
Oh, the dredge will definitely help.
But do we need to dredge it?
The dredge has to be the lake needs to be dredged.
The water lake. It needs to be dredged
up to the Akuse point, you know. Beyond room to be sure.
I think.
So honey there and was between Akosomoni, what do you call it? Akuse. You can dredge and collect the sand out of it, which we are going to do. Being but I know you are not allowing any water, I see water to come in there. I know just to prevent the water ice in this way, no. So you dig more hole in it so that water you can get more water as a reservoir to stay in it.
And take care dredge yanka spillage in kebetimi a holibi. And I'm mentia senti cheche munentiase.
Chairman General.
Yes, sir.
The thought of it say be hodi embano and sometimes you know I don't want to really go so much into it because it's so na make kind say embano. We're going to be holding for maybe 5 days. In kind of a quiet. To still go.
Yeah.
To still spread. So and every day you spell it. So it happens when it has to happen. When you dredge it can hold more. I guess maybe 2010 then we dredge a lot, so it's only holding enough of it. That's what we had. But if you can remember, the dredgers by lower water about 3-4 months ago. They took us to court.
Why did them go court?
Communities for only be near court.
How they?
Say the dredger na by bano. Maybe we didn't inform them. Yeah, damage because dredger na air bano. Then so near a bit, big. So they're a bit shallow and here so just a cut path. But we can talk cut path, no. Or they're going to go the bucket in them. But just a wash it holes now. To wash it and I mean so they near brown.
Okay.
Community say are saying so they took us to court. So we suspended it for almost 3 months. We've resolved the issue now. So we are going to start that dredging. So at least by the end of this year, the dredging will continue. There are 2 dredging companies at World Lake, and also about dredging. You can say so you're the 3rd one, but Buama dredging. So that at least more seawater can go into the river to kill those.
Obviously, so we be an near fee. I said 1963 we were offered scholarships to go study abroad. 63. Well, I wasn't born. We were taken to the Kwame Nkrumah Ideological Institute for some weeks to be introduced to developments and development progress in Ghana. One of the places we were also taken to was the site of the Akonsombo Dam. Kwame, in 63, at the site, we were made to understand that there's a resettlement plan for the people living along the lake to prevent what is happening today. Ask the engineer in your studio, what happened to the resettlement plan? Uncle Ebo Clark. What happened, engineer?
There's a VA resettlement trust fund that will push money into it to help those communities to be resettled. And the resettlement has been done since almost 60 years. It's still ongoing. The trust is still there. We always put in money for those communities affected. Those below the water, Takuse, is something I also have to quickly look at the settlement, whether it was covering them. Yeah, so all those people also were all resettled accordingly.
I see.
So it's still there. We still put money into it, and the people who needed to be resettled have been resettled as expected.
Engineer,
yes.
Why be maybe questions that Dawson? Nah, yes, that's here read that. So Kabis, let's focus on that. Why? Let's inja manual semnen tunchenka. Now, Pacho Bismarck from Kofodia wants to know, sir, you were declared buffer zone.
Yes.
And he wants to know, say, yeah, Juma.
Yes. Up there we have what we call the 280 contour that nobody is supposed to encroach. That 280 contour. But people are still encroaching though. But we always do a normal patrol to move the people off.
Just say, Yasuya ding! Engineer Kenzo. And now I'm person back on. Also, your baby, Nisa Nipako.
280 contour.
Into 280 contour, Yajabos, Yafa.
Yeah,
then
we still move them. Normally, no, you are not supposed to go there. Corner, okay, any activity.
Yeah.
You take off the erosion protections in that area. So to be pushy and be good dam. Also, you just use more of a forest buffer to ensure more rains can fall into the dam and also prevent evaporation of the water behind the dam. So those contour was demarcated. Nobody should encroach it, and for us to protect it, to make sure we have sustainable running of the dam. So that is the main essence of the 280.
But it's been encroached.
Yeah, but we still get there and move them out. So we've done what we call the community-based organization who we've engaged in them to be planting and also reporting to us when they see people encroaching them.
Open you then have a caditrato. Niamani the adults, but Kakra when you had a 1 hour near. And we are eternally grateful, say, when you are at Ajepo. And now to chop more, or Chinatiha, or Chinao year relief item, or Chinao ye see. We're seeing you all over the place. I'm sure in the last 10 days, your life has changed completely. And you, engineer, you made the Tampe Casa. They say that we've turned into a talkative like us. But Wabwaying, especially because of your knowledge and you're willing to share, and at least let us understand what is going on. It's an Bibi Saba, MRP, the politicians take over. Now, Abeya Manyosem, now the real issues are lost. We appreciate your time, but we'd like to know, is there anything else you'd like to add? Bibi wo hobi abe pese ubejama yansan wako.
Just say at least each and every one of Ghana, if you have the ability and expertise to be to support here to bring a bit of relief to our people who have been affected now. Please come on board. I know other radio stations, agents will be account for relief in to support the people in the community. Yeah, Crawford on more situation. They are part of us. They are people. We should roll up our sleeves, roll up our trousers, come into the trenches with us, and let's bring relief to the people. No matter what you can bring on board for us to bring relief to the people, we think everybody should come on board. Crawford me bumpire, so mo bumpire my. No make sure that at least be beyond end to end. Nobody. We don't lose life. Life is very precious.
Yeah.
We don't know who and what that person may turn out in future, what he may bring on the table. So we need those people to have their life and also help them go back to their normal life when this whole situation comes to an end. So we want everybody to come on board to support.
Mo soldier for ehun hia so be adwuma wa hu. Navy boa, Air Force boa, Army boa. And then Yamina make because some them are biased. But at least Engineer Kenzo is telling us the role of the Ghana Armed Forces in all of this, the role of NADMO in all of this, and a VRA fund because the community funding in our Ekahua or Mobwa. Until Operation Save All of Us continues. Engineer Meda said, no other agenda. Na me sure some say you save you in the whole hour. What how didn't come, but whatever happens, the patch best somebody be when you must. Thank you for your time so much. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Chairman General.
Yes, sir.
So
Deputy Chief Executive VRA
104.3. Good to meet you.
Professor, Machi Bion.
Yeah, join.
Walk out there.
Wow, yeah.
Upon the young.
I said, Sikasa Sandano, who will be current to be.
You want to come on a face?
Yeah, join.
Dr. Ben.
Onia.
Answer me who I check a car.
Send I say, oh, who says him, sir?
Nyamia na eja.
The material Bafubia, Momo, the Abbasian can yourself, say, papa. I say, Chairman, so could chat papa.
Ayanaba. Your quabes is here. Show.
Oh, Quam Flamenco.
Do Hana, Bibi Basse, Visa.
National Security.
Yeah, don't money, I want your man.
Who will be with the money? Name Yamadia credit.
I'll call you can TV.
Yamo.
Jama only needs a gun problems doors in the Pelcrum.
Nippon and a creative problem.
Oh, problems now, horses here, doors in Nippon or my name.
Anything into means one another. Chumbema MP Doma East.
Raven.
Minia Penio. Why, you're my brabum.
Oh,
it's Minia Pa.
Yeah, Peckham, but even funny for
Company.
primaries.
I'm told them best now. Them one or shots here.
Them hey ya, and you started.
The problem, who do I never come on for him say? You see, so now me what British High Commission. Now, young well, my bar, me come. The first car me toy, by the mom's car toy.
Professional and no cresa.
The first car, by the mom's car toy.
And said and no cresa.
Those days, you guys say, buy now, now me your Juma or now me assistant. Nah, your boy, one, I'm guys, oh, we can't.